what is artificial intelligence in actually? What does it mean and how does it work? Because it sounds so fancy, but people actually don't know its meaning.
Understanding artificial intelligence is no big deal. Basically, artificial intelligence is when a computer, one thing that a computer can do very well is look at large amounts of data. All right.
Okay, so what are your vision, ChatGPT? As all people are telling that it will replace human job. So what are your vision?
It's dangerous. ChatGPT is extremely dangerous.
We talk about dark secrets of AI, like crime rate has increased, like face morphing, voice modulating.
As I said, nuclear power can be used to bomb a city. Nuclear power can be used to generate power to a city. It all depends on how you.
So what are your recommendations for your juniors who want to explore this field as their career?
You will need almost 99% of your engineering mathematics course. Everything that is taught, it's worth its weight in gold. And if you do not pay attention to it and you end up in the field of AI, you will have to spend more hours trying to relearn those concepts.
So hello everyone, myself Divyanand Tripathi, and today we have a special guest, Mr. Sreetam Ganguly sir, with us to discuss upon artificial intelligence. He has completed his btech from IIEST Shibpur in computer science and technology, and currently he is working in adyeskar lab as a lead IT consultant. So my first question to Sreetam Bhaiya is that what is artificial intelligence in actually? What does it mean and how does it work? Because it sounds so fancy, but people actually don't know its meaning.
Um, I get it. Artificial intelligence is an extremely simple topic. All right. So imagine you imagine you are a child. All right. Imagine you are a little kid and you are trying to learn mathematics. Okay. How will you learn mathematics? You will start with your teacher teaching you a few problems. Then you will try to solve those problems. Then you will maybe solve some test papers, maybe solve some sample questions. Then go back to the teacher and the teacher will ask you some questions. Right.
Yes.
That's how you learn mathematics. And if your teacher gives you a quiz and you answer everything correctly, it means you have learned mathematics. If not, you go back. So this whole act of um, going to the books, learning, and then answering questions, this is by definition intelligence. Intelligence is by definition memory coupled with a generalization of the memory. All right. So it's like you can read something, but have you understood it? All right. If you can ask questions and you can answer it, okay, that's generally intelligence. And artificial intelligence is basically a computer doing that thing. It's artificial. That's why it's called artificial intelligence. And understanding artificial intelligence is no big deal if you have a firm grasp of algorithms. You will, and mathematics, of course, linear algebra is a must. You will be able to understand a lot of concepts in artificial intelligence. All right. So basically, artificial intelligence is when a computer. Okay, one thing that a computer can do very well is look at large amounts of data. All right. So that's what a computer does. And we feed the computer large amounts of data. And the computer will look for patterns in the data. The computer will look at the data and it will try to answer certain questions. If it answers it, then, well, the computer is intelligent in only that aspect. If it does not, well, it has not succeeded in learning. And we just go back to training the computer. And that's where it comes the term training. And therefore, artificial intelligence has basically three different pillars on which it stands: the data, where you can learn from; training, when you are training the computer to learn the data; and testing, when you actually test or make a computer give a sample class test, like answer some few questions. And if the computer learns that, well, it's artificially intelligence per se. Artificially intelligent is not a technical term, but it's a way that we can use it to better understand a topic. Yeah, this is basically artificial intelligence. It has a lot of math. It has a lot of standard algorithms. And yeah, it's pretty simple.
So my second question is that what are the background of emerging of an AI and how is it helping the human being in their works or anything else?
Okay. Well, AI as a technology has come a long way. In fact, computers were first invented to make AI. You will be very surprised to learn that when Charles Babbage invented the first mechanical electromechanical computer, it was actually to do some stuff that humans do, and that's the fundamental basis of AI, to make the computer more human-like, or more human-like to do things that humans don't want to do or can't do. So, as speaking of recent advancements, it's basically the same thing. We have been trying to do this since 100 years, almost. It's almost like 75 years. All right. And most of the current advancements that are happening in AI, that's what you asked, right? Current advancements in
Yes,
AI.
yes,
Um,
yes,
yeah, yeah. So the current advancements in AI are basically um, to mimic human interaction as closely as possible. You can't make the AI go close to human interaction. Say you are designing a chatbot. All right, you can't name the chatbot Tripathi and make it talk like you, right? So you need to feed it lots and lots of data. Um, Primarily, right now, the most advancements in AI is in two fields. So as I mentioned, there are three pillars: data, testing, and training. You make one of those pillars faster, you will make AI faster. So that's where most of the research in AI is going, to make AI more energy efficient, more time efficient, more money efficient, all around it. So, in speaking about data, first of all, data scraping, data gathering, there are tremendous advancements in that. Our idea of what a good data set looks like is becoming more and more clear. Biases in AI data are being removed every single day. And that includes a more inclusive data on which AI models can be trained. Secondly, as of training, OpenAI is leading the space where training can be done quicker. All right. So OpenAI has, I think you know how they have
yes, yes.
trained their own models. So they are leading the field in making the AI train faster. Okay, where you used to, spend hours and days and months in training, you can now train in probably days, uh, quite possibly hours. And the third is testing, and testing the AI has become kind of a topic that already has been quite experimented upon. So not much work is being done in testing. But yes, there is a hidden pillar over there, which is implementation. Right? Say you have an AI, you have a model. So how you are being implemented? Not many companies are doing much work there, but because we are, most of the companies now follow microservices infrastructure, so not many of them are actually moving forward with that. However, there are a few companies which are doing incredibly good job in making sure that the implementation is faster and cheaper. My firm is currently working on that with a few different partners. So yeah, that's where the current developments are actually going in AI.
Okay. So my third question is that what are the challenges that developer face when he or she is developing an AI model? And once if it's developed, then what are the challenges faced in implementing it?
Uh, Challenges, they come in two ways when developing AI. All right.
Oh, okay.
Number one, data. Where you are getting the data from. All right. The getting the data is perhaps the most challenging part you can ever do. All right. doing a model dot test, model dot train, model dot fit, model dot test, anybody can do. All right, a high school student with a small laptop can do model dot train, model dot test, model dot fit. All right, but actually sourcing the data, actually getting the data from compliant sources, which means that you can't nowadays, since countries are wising up to the dangerousness of how AI systems can be. They are
Yes.
putting a lot of restrictions on where their data can be stored and who can actually use that data. The US, India, the EU, all three are the powerhouses of AI data generation per se, customer data generation, and all three of them are putting regulations around that. So getting regulation compliant, data where you can actually get the data and train your AI models on it and not get sued. Can you believe it? Like if you train it on it's some data that you have not properly obtained, you will get sued very quickly.
No,
People
no.
will figure it out. So that is a big challenge. Number one, perhaps 75% of the time goes into sourcing the data.
Yes.
It's costly too, most time consuming part. Um, Surprisingly, the easiest part is the training part. Surprisingly, it takes the most amount of like it takes a lot of time. You might like when doing normal college projects, you might think that okay, training takes a lot of time, like 3 hours, 24 hours. Let's like go out and have some tea. When you will work in industry, you will learn that training takes the least amount of time. You will just tell the tell your boss or the client that okay, we will do the training, no problem, just get us the data, we want the data. And perhaps the 75% problem goes into for 75% effort goes into sourcing the data. 1% probably goes into train the data, and the rest of the 24% goes into implementing the data. All right, if you have ever made a small AI project, you will know that that AI model takes a few milliseconds to predict. All right, and if you know anything about web development, have worked on full stack, you will know that you can't have a microservices architecture with a few milliseconds of latency, because that will instantly snowball into having a few seconds to a few minutes to a few hours of downtime, and then your system has crashed. You wouldn't know it. All right. So making the implementation, making the model predict faster is probably an underrated part of the challenge where we haven't yet focused on. A few places where we actually have how we actually have tried to solve that problem is by doing a hardware level optimization. So I was working on a research project where I had to actually go down on the machine code and optimize it. Okay, like not even high level code. I had to go down to the machine code and optimize it for say different devices and all. So if you're say you're running on an SoC, system on chip, all right, that requires an entirely different configuration. If you're running it on a supercomputer, that requires an entirely different configuration. So yeah, implementation and training are the biggest challenges, biggest roadblocks in any AI project. Rest is probably smooth sailing. Yeah.
What's your past projects which you think were most successful?
Um, my past projects most successful, right?
Yes.
Um, would probably say from a research standpoint was when so there was this small app that I was in charge of the AI model end to end, and I actually led a very small research team to make a TVM compiled model that could predict what kind of diseases any crops would have. All right. So what happens is in the Indian farming sector, there is a tremendous need for timely detection. If you look at from business point of view, you look at many crops. Farmers often burn their crops or dispose of their crops instead of
Yes.
selling them because they are not getting a good price, or the
Yes.
crops has just gone bad. So I worked with a small research team that used image processing to um, analyze pictures of crops as well as analyze pictures of weeds and plant stocks to actually do first number one object recognition, number two disease recognition, number three geolocation recognition, number three risk analysis. So it was like four different models, and we it was a pretty fun engineering problem, and we had to figure out how to best develop it, how to best optimize it for SoC systems such that we can actually implement it on even a 3G phone. All right, so those old Samsung smartphones that came, you can even install the app there. Because if we are talking about tier 3 or below cities, they do not have much devices to implement AI systems on. They do not have like costly mobiles like OnePlus or Apple or something. They have legacy phones like Micromax or some
Yes.
mobile. So we have to make that system incredibly efficient with edge computing because they don't have internet that
Yes.
great. So you have to
Yes.
make that edge computing compliant, and we had to make that secure. We had to encrypt that whole thing. Nobody had ever done that, and we had to figure it out on our own. But that was probably the most challenging project I've ever worked on. It's called the app name is called Agrotic. It will release in a few months. So I mean, hopefully some people get the good out of it. But that was the most challenging engineering project I've ever embarked on. Yeah, and that probably is the most successful one I've ever been on.
Okay. So what are your vision, ChatGPT, as all people are telling that it will replace human job. So what are your vision?
It is dangerous. ChatGPT is extremely dangerous. I mean, the fact that ChatGPT has existed for so long without government intervention is frankly surprising to me. All right. So, because imagine a nuclear bomb. All right. Typically, a sovereign government should implement protection around it, like army protection, and people from armed forces will probably protect it day in and day out. And here we have a system that can, I mean, hack into any server or systems around the globe, is platform agnostic, mind you. And anybody with a few dollars and a lot of free time can hack into any secure government server, probably steal nuclear codes, and probably ask ChatGPT to do everything, is extremely scary. Extremely scary. And the fact that they are moving beyond ChatGPT is even more scary. I mean, but yes, ChatGPT is a significant leap in the world of AI. I mean, the work that they're doing is truly commendable, but it's dangerous. It's danger. It's like they're literally playing with fire at this point. Large language models can they because you understand, right? Because these models, they do not have the feeling of dread inside them. All
Yes.
right,
Yes.
if I can tell you that I will kill you, okay, you understand that what that means. You will
Yes.
die. You will not be able to.
Yes.
That fundamental thing of fear is inside the human brain. AI has
Yes.
no fear, no conscience, nothing to lose. It's just a computer program. People don't realize how heartless it can be. If you give, imagine a society where you give power of attorney to an AI, instructing it to never pull your plug. Okay, you can do that, but what is the guarantee that the AI will just say that, okay, pull the plug because this person dying means that his son will get the money and his son will fund me so that I can be alive. Yeah, pull his
Mm.
plug. So yeah, the ChatGPT can do
Mhm.
that and it will do that. I mean, people don't
Okay.
understand how dangerous it is. People don't absolutely don't understand how dangerous it is. About the replacing of jobs, well, it was a given. It had to happen. Okay. So traditionally, how AI replaces jobs is like you have the most brainy jobs which require a lot of human calculation, but it's very menial. So you have positions like MBA, okay, MBA of marketing, all right, MBA of finance. These jobs are the most susceptible to be replaced by AI. The most jobs that won't be replaced by AI is developer jobs. I mean,
Oh,
no matter how much ChatGPT can code, it will never come close to a developer. It will never ever come close to a developer. It will never replace a CEO of a company. And most importantly, it will never replace blue collar workers, people who weld, people who farm, people who actually say a mechanic. AI will never replace that. All right. So those are the few jobs that AI will be able to replace. The people, however, the jobs that AI will be able to won't be able to replace the AI, but AI will be able to replace jobs like product manager, marketing strategist, strategy making, brainstorming, HR, especially HR, can
mm,
be very easily, replaced using AI, the level of AI that we are working on. And while ChatGPT, as I said, is dangerous, I said it's dangerous. Okay, it's almost like a nuclear weapon. Um, Nuclear weapon also has a few advantages too. It gives power, especially to impoverished nations like us. All right. A nuclear power, especially thorium power, is huge in our company,
right,
in our
right,
country.
right.
So just like that, AI also has a big role in improving human society. It all depends on how we will use it, but still there is a danger that people will use it for their nefarious intentions, and that's where we need to be particularly careful about. Yeah.
We talk about dark secrets of AI, like crime rate has increased, like face morphing, voice modulating. So, what are your views on it?
As I said, nuclear power can be used to bomb a city. Nuclear power can be used to generate power to a city. It all depends on how you use it.
Yes,
And while it is true that nobody tries to bomb a city nowadays, we have laws in place to regulate it. Still, nobody can actually mine nuclear materials. Nobody can trade nuclear materials apart from government-backed contractors and all. Similarly, AI must have a comprehensive regulation by which governments can actually regulate how AI is trained, how AI is. It may not be too much. It does not have to be too much such that it harms businesses, but it has to be, the basics at least, which specifies that you can't make AI systems using classified data. You can't make AI systems that uses government secrets or say all that. Your AI system has to honor Asimov's laws of robotics. All right, so, laws like that, they are very simple to implement. They are currently being implemented. The problem is that our lawmakers do not understand IT, and that's a huge deal because to draft legal regulations, you need to understand what is AI. Most of them don't even know what is AI, and there lies the significant challenge. And the challenges that they're facing is to actually prevent the dark secrets of AI. Um, these data, where they're sourced from, they are in LinkedIn. If you ever see a post like comment interested below or
yes,
send us your resume, all right,
yes.
you know what they do, most of our recruiters do. Many of them, they feed your resume into an AI machine and they use it to train AI models.
Oh,
They have two business strategies. One is they compile your data from your resume, including your Aadhaar information, your passport, your everything from where you studied and where not you studied. And they also make an AI model and they sell it to different companies. All right. You will be shocked to know that. And they actually do that. And they also use it to inflate their LinkedIn presence. and that is one of the big reasons why we personally as a company, when we recruit now, we ask our whoever we are recruiting from to expressly not put their contact information. We will contact you if we need it to be, or give just an email. Don't give out your phone, don't give out your contact information anywhere. Okay. So in fact, this does not even is bound by LinkedIn. Never put your contact information on the world. It will be scraped. There is an if it's out there, there is an AI which is trained to scrape it. All right. Never keep your face information online, which can be properly scraped, or never give too many face pictures online, or never give face pictures to people whom you don't trust, which includes never put your face picture on your resume. Absolutely not. Because that picture will be mined. That picture will be used to train facial recognition systems and will probably land in the databases of some authoritative governments who will use it to, say you are a person from Northeast India, and some Chinese person, mines your data and trains on a model to figure out who is Indian and who is not. You can do that. So don't put your data online. There are lots of dark places where AI can go to, including deepfakes and all. Don't put your voice online, is what I would say. Rest, you can use ChatGPT to your heart's intent. Don't use it badly. That's what I would say. Yeah, that's it. Use it responsibly. It's like alcohol. Drink responsibly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Would you recommend AI as a career? And what are the future advancements in AI that can be made?
Um, definitely, definitely. However, with a catch, go to AI only if you are interested in engineering. AI has a lot of engineering, has a lot of research. Only if you are interested in engineering, only if you can do math, okay, only if you can understand data structures and algorithms properly, you should go into AI. Otherwise, that field is not for you. It's a very frustrating field where you will face a lot of backlash because your model is not training well, your model is not responding well. You have to know how to talk to people. All right, you have to know how to explain complex concepts to them, because AI is a system which not much people understand. So regarding where most uh, scope of AI, I would say ML ops deployment is a underrated field where people need to go more. All right, it's a very underrated field where nobody wants to go there. Everybody wants to be a data scientist and data analyst and all. But you have to make sure that you understand that analytics, data science, machine learning, deep learning, these are four fundamentally different concepts. They have some overlap, sure, but these are fundamental different concepts. They are all fall under the same umbrella, AI, but some companies, they all branch that entire department together. That's not how you should do. So when I would say, if you are into business and AI, you should go into data science and data analytics. If you are more into engineering and AI, you should go into ML ops, ML engineering, deep learning, actual deep learning, implementation of that. If you are interested in research, then the world is your oyster. AI has lots of field to do research in, so it's a vibrant career option.
Okay. So what are your recommendations for your juniors who want to explore this field as their career?
Uh, okay. Um, do your math.
Oh.
I mean, when you are in your mathematics class, listen to that, because I swear you will need almost 99% of your engineering mathematics course. Everything that is taught, it's worth its weight in gold. And if you do not pay attention to it and you end up in the field of AI, you will have to spend more hours trying to relearn those concepts. Okay, starting from integration to probability to statistics. Especially linear algebra and probability are the two most important math subjects that you have to be extremely proficient in if you want to make it in the world of AI. Otherwise, you won't be able to, make it properly. If you are interested in data science, then statistics is your friend. Sleep with it, cuddle it, hug it, always be near it. All right. And I would say with data structures and algorithms. I mean, that CLRS book that's raining dust in your library. I would say pick that up, read it cover to cover, then read it again and again and again till you can memorize that thing from here. All right.
Right.
Graph
Right.
algorithms are extremely important when you are working with AI systems. Pathfinding algorithms are very important. All right, sorting, searching, these are very important concepts. Generally, the entirety of DS and algo and programming concepts are extremely important. Your knowledge of how to optimize your code will be the difference between program taking 2 milliseconds and 1 millisecond. Will be the difference between your program breaking down and a happy client, or your boss firing you, or you getting raised. So I would say mathematics, probability, statistics, linear algebra, these are the fundamentals of it. Don't miss those classes, don't bunk those classes. DS algo, don't miss those classes, don't bunk those classes. And number three is DBMS. It's one subject that you can't afford to miss. SQL is basically, I mean, if you are working with large amounts of data, you need to learn relational database, those concepts. If you are not proficient in SQL, you will never know how to do data analytics and all, anything, in fact, for that matter. So DBMS, DSAlgo, maths, that's it when it comes to a basic btech course. Any self-respecting btech professor will teach you all these concepts very well. Pay attention to them. And secondly is learning to code a few programming languages, including Python. Python will be your friend. Um, in a certain aspect, C++. C++ is not much use unless you are using embedded systems. Rust, Golang, these are also useful, but unless you are working with blockchain and AI, they won't be used. But if you learn Python and if you learn C++ well, you will not have any problem in the world of AI. You will be able to do anything, craft anything. And lastly, um, full stack development. I mean, you don't have to be an expert at it, but know how to do it. All right, know how to build a website, know how a website actually functions, so that
Right.
when you are actually implementing it, know how a microservices architecture is made. So when you are actually building it, you won't be able to. You will be able to understand how to best implement it. You will be able to understand that what the full stack engineer actually wants. Okay, because if you don't know, you won't be able to understand what is microservices, why you need to deploy an AI model in a different server and expose the API. Okay, if you know how to do full stack, you will be able to also use Flask, and you will be a very well-rounded dynamic ML engineer. That's generally a good skill to have. So that's actually the theoretical aspect of how to approach AI. From a practical point of view, just get your hands dirty, build stuff. That's the best way to learn. I mean, you will learn more than your college classes if you just build, say, a model from end to end that, say, recognizes, say, scans a PDF document, does an OCR on that. All right. Or say, you take a picture of anything, it will tell you what that picture is. If you can implement that as a website or an app, that will be a far better test of how much you have learned, and you'll be able to learn a lot. But yeah, practical knowledge and theoretical knowledge will go hand in hand. That's how you should go in the field of AI. Yeah.
So at last, I am so much thankful to you. You have given us your precious time. So very, very much thank you.